instead of the budget that this council, along with the administration departments, came up with of 5 cents per $100. So this was all communicated the 24th. Never replied to Council McBride's request that we get more time. So I believe these penalties that DCA is putting forward are not warranted. They're without merit, and we are standing ready to negotiate with them and to partner with them on a positive way forward that we can get this rectified. And I have all hopes and positive. I'm very positive that we all can do that.
That's right.
Well, I thank you, Councilwoman from the West Ward, but I sort of kind of see things a little different. And I'm going to tell the people out in Dramatic World why I see things different. Well, on July the 2nd, when we were sworn in, the first order of business that we had to do was an emergency appropriated budget to make sure that all of the city employees were paid. So, from July the 2nd until now, we have been paying the city employees on an emergency appropriation ordinance. So when we voted this Thursday not to accept the forced 11 cent that DCA said we had to accept, because we put our amendments in on a 5 cent budget increase. They said that we had to accept 11 cents. So after we did not accept that 11 cent, for some reason or another, the administration did not have the emergency appropriations ordinance ready that Thursday when we took the vote on the budget. Because there's one thing that the public might not know, but the council knows and the administration knows. If that budget was going to be voted down, they should have had the emergency appropriation ordinance ready for the council to vote on to pay the employees, because that is the way that we have been doing business since July the 2nd of 2018. So to run to the public and tell the public and the employees that the government is going to be taken over, that there's not going to be a pay for the employees, is an outright falsehood.
That's a scare. Is
it's
it a scare
tactic, and it's something to make the people panic. There is no truth to it whatsoever. The fact remains that when people start doing their homework, they will become more informed. We have not had a budget since July the 2nd. We have been paying the city employees under an emergency appropriation ordinance every 3 months. So when they knew that that budget was up for a vote, they should have had the budget on the agenda, on the docket, and they should have had the emergency appropriation ordinance on the docket too. So let me clear that up first. And the second thing I would like to say about the budget is this. We were trying to take the number down from 11 cent to 5 cent, because as I can remember, back in November, the mayor went into a conference and told all of his directors that he was going to lay them off, start laying off their people in their department, and to get ready for a massive layoff if we did not pass the accelerated tax sale. Then the people ran frantically around coming to the council when we had not even reviewed the budget. We didn't even know the stipulations with the accelerated tax sale. But he ran to the people and had them in a panic. You cannot do business like that, because there was no need for those people to panic. And the proof is, didn't they get their checks? Didn't they get paid? So just reflect back to November when he put that panic out and reflect back to now. There is no reason for the public to be panicking. We will pay you like we have paid you in the past, an emergency appropriation ordinance. Now I want to talk about the piece with the 5 cent and the 11 cents. We went into a budget hearing for all the departments, and we said, listen, we don't want to lay anyone off, and we don't want anyone to be running scared about losing their jobs, so every department should give something back. So each department gave something back. Now, the way the budget works is that once the council makes their adjustments, the financial officer has to crunch those numbers and then bring it back to us so we can vote on the amendments. That never occurred. She took the council's budget over to DCA, and DCA said, oh, they got it down to 5 cents. Well, we're not going to let you have 5 cents. We want you to do 11 cents. We said, listen, the taxpayers has just went under a bogus assessment. Now they got the the accelerated tax sale, and now 11 cents. I think that's a little too much for the taxpayers. But what I will say to the taxpayers out here in Dramatic Mills world, if it is not too much for you, let us know, and we will stop fighting for that 5 cents. Let us know that you want us. You don't mind us going up to the 11 cents.
We want the
but
5 cents.
when I came on, I had said to the taxpayers that I would do everything in my power to stop these increases on your taxes. So if you want us to continue to fight for you, you're going to have to show up and let us know that you want us to continue this fight. But if you want status quo and you want us to be the rubber stamp for DCA and for the administration, you can let us know that too. Because whatever you want us to do, that's what we'll do. But we came into the office to fight for you, to stop these in tax increases when they weren't warranted. So we said to DCA, we will only go up 5 cents. We're not going to go 11. DCA said to us, if you don't go up to the 11 cents, we will do this, we will do that, we will say that you're out of compliance, we will tax you. No, DCA, we're not going to stand for it. And I'm saying to everybody out there in Dramatic Mills world, I am ready to draw the line in the sand. But you have to tell me that you want me to continue this fight. If you don't want me to continue this fight for the 5 cents, I will gladly say the community said go ahead with the 11 cents. And far as them saying the state is going to take over, well, let me just tell you, the state has already taken over. We can't even get a train ticket unless the state approves it. We can't even get a redevelopment attorney to walk us through the process to sell the property for the city unless DCA approves it. And I'm going to tell everyone out there in Dramatic World, there is no other municipality without a redevelopment attorney but Trenton. They are not going to treat Trenton different than they treat all the other municipalities. So I am telling you, I am ready to draw the line in the sand for you. If you want this property sold correct, if you want to be able to put those ratables on our books properly, we're ready to do business. But we're not going to do business like it has been done in the past. There's not going to be any sweetheart deals. We are not going to stand for that. We are here to say to the residents in Trenton, you elected us. We're going to fight for you. We're going to do all we can for you. But you're going to have to show up, and you're going to have to say to us, continue your fight, because we can't do it without your support.
That's right. That's right.
Now, as far as DCA is concerned, I believe that DCA is overreaching. I believe that they're overreaching their authority, and I am saying to all of you out there, I am ready to go to DCA and say to them, you have went too far. When the mayor gave his directors the raises, you knew that since January, you imposed a $250,000 fine on the people. You didn't ask the mayor to give that money back, and you did not stop the increases. You took and fined the people in the city of Trenton and the businesses. That's not fair to the residents, and it's not fair to the council.
That's right.
So when you're going to do things evenly, you need to do things right and evenly. It needs to be even across the board. If the mayor did those salaries without the approval of DCA, they should have been paying that money back, not the residents in the city of Trenton. That I will stand by. I don't believe the residents should be taxed for that. I believe that it should have been they should have asked the mayor to stop the raises until they properly filed the paperwork, till they filed that paperwork properly. And that's the way that I see it. And I do believe that the residents wanted me to fight for that 5 cent, and that's why I fought for it. But we're here today to say to all of you, if you do not want us to fight for that 5 cent, you need to let us know. Yeah. We're here. Hit us up with your questions.
We got a lot of...
okay, bring them on. We're ready. We're ready.
All right, let me go back.
We're ready.
All right.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to just share with all of you in Dramatic World, for the 5 cents, if a home is $100,000, if you have $100,000 home, the 5 cent increase will be $49 a year. The 11.4 cents will be $114 a year. That's $65 more a year. If you own a home for $60,000, it will be $30 more a year. So those are some of the numbers that we're working with. And Trenton is unique because the uniqueness of Trenton is that the state resides here. They occupy the buildings and the land that sits on the property in Trenton. That property has been assessed at $38 million. So we shouldn't be groveling for our money.
That's
the
right.
state should give us what they owe us, and then we can handle our own business.
That's right.
$38 million, that's what that property is assessed at. So if the state is acting like they're doing us this great favor, give us our capital city aid, which will amount to $38 million. Give us that, and we will not have to depend on you for transitional aid.
That's right. All right. Charity Lee says, hello, ladies.
Hi.
She just shouted y'all out. Daryl Brooks said he in the house. Jarrell Blakely, one of your fellow councilmen. He says, hey, everyone, it's Councilman Blakely.
Hi.
Will be he checking in, not being personal, just coming with facts. You can sell a property without bidding. Let's read it.
Not in a redevelopment zone, you can't.
Oh, okay. He says used redevelopment area must be developed and used in an ordinance.
We know
accordance.
The law.
Yeah, y'all know that. Yeah, accordance.
So you can skip that because we know what the law is.
Okay.
You know?
Let me go because he put some more. Tawana Williford says written procedures are a must. Yeah. Joey Dominic says, how is it that they can't take the L and want to beat a dead horse? They've been proven wrong on this. I don't know which segment that he was taking. You know what I mean? But I'm just reading a few of them. Let me just run through a few. Daryl Brooks says they want good government. I don't know. Somebody put brand new.
We
talk
do
to
want
them.
good government and fair government, and that's what DCA, the state, they're supposed to be partners in the uplifting of a municipality that's in fiscal stress, right?
Yes.
So you get the MOU, you enter to such an agreement with the agreement that you are going to help us, you're going to lift us up, not penalize us. And a lot of the issues and the communications we got from them thus far, and these matters, these fiscal matters, has all been punitive. So, which is a concern. So either the state is willing to help the capital city, or they just continue to keep their feet on their neck and continue to keep us in financial distress, which is very disappointing. So this is not what we're about. We want a partnership with them. We want them to help us, not continue to punish us and penalize us.
Yeah. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Do you see the state trying to make it like how it's distressed in the city? Do you think the state is actually trying to do that to us intentionally?
Well, I just say that they're not working with us cooperatively. I believe that they could have shown a better approach. Like Councilwoman Vaughn stated, that when I responded to them, they never responded back. We set up an appointment. They canceled the appointments out and said that the director said that they needed to cancel out the appointment. You know, that's the reason. You don't give me.
So I have another point to make about DCA. They should never have had the budget giving an 11-cent increase in the first place, because that was the budget that was presented to council and that we accepted from the mayor. Once we accept it, the mayor cannot change anything on that budget. So when we were through with our budget process of 3 months of meetings, we whittled it down to 5 cents. That's the budget that should have gone to DCA.
And
they should never even have had the budget with the 11 cents.
Exactly.
So I'm having a real issue with them dealing with the administration on the budget when there's no council members in that room, and the budget is our responsibility.
And the budget was already accepted by the council. So once the council accepts the budget, the DCA nor the administration has no right to alter anything once they give that budget to us. And the only thing DCA is supposed to do is to certify it or not certify it. But when we sent our budget, we never got a chance to send it because the administration took their budget over to them, not our 5-cent adjustments and amendments. So that's a problem within itself. So come on out there, people in dramatic world. Give us some questions. We'll be glad to answer them to the best of our ability. You know, everybody can try to be sarcastic, but you need to try to listen up and try to get some information, because we're trying to give it to you the way that it's written in the book.
Right. Ron Desminski says, did all the directors give back the raise?
No, they did not.
They did not.
They didn't give it back. Let me find some more. It's a lot of them,
And
but some of them think
has
talk to them.
DCA put forward, deny them, or really put forth a penalty to the right entity.
Right.
So they prefer to the mayor is the person who is in violation in that regard by putting forth salary increases that he did not get an approval or waiver for, right? But instead, in the April 24th letter, DCA wants to penalize the council for these violations that were clearly the infractions are solely of the administration, which is another issue that we have concern with and are challenging.
Okay. I would like to ask y'all, not you guys, the viewers, if you can ask real questions. Try not to be insultive, because we're not here to. They're not here to insult you. Like they cool. They being cool. They down here, so they being cool. So if you're gonna ask good questions, something that you really want to know. Try not
something
to be,
that you can benefit from.
that you can benefit from.
You know, because if you're out there just being sarcastic because you've taken a side instead of looking at the facts, you know, you're not helping yourself and
or
you're
the city.
Nor the city. And we're not here to be disrespected. We're here to bring it to you the way that we see it, the way that the book is explaining it to us. We're trying to give it to you. You got your personal opinions. You dug in somewhere on someone's side when you should be on your own side and worrying about the taxes that are being increased on your property. Let's talk about the reality of what's taking place here. The first reality is that there was never a person that worked for the city that was not going to be paid, because we have always paid you from July the 2nd, the first day that we were sworn in, by an emergency appropriation ordinance. So there is no reason to even think that you would not be paid.
And so, to be clear, come Tuesday, we're having a special
session. and
to pass emergency appropriations to get you paid.
to get you paid. Now,
So for all intents and purposes, come Thursday, your payroll will be processed and you'll be getting paid.
right, and so let
Had
me,
we received the temporary
This wouldn't have been
appropriations
an issue.
resolution
on Thursday
on
the
last
18th,
Thursday, the last council session, it would've
this
been
would not
approved.
even, this would be mute.
Okay.
As per the process. This is
Yes.
standard process. This is nothing new. This
Yes.
this happens all the time.
Yes.
As Council President said, it's been happening the past year.
I have Trina Stewart McClendon says, "Hey, Councilwomen, shouting all y'all out." Says she just tuned in late. She wanted to know if you keep up the fight for the 5 cents, will the city workers really be laid off? That's what she and you answered it already. I
No,
think,
we
but-
already told you that the
Yeah.
5 cent is
Has nothing to
the,
do
the-
with that.
no, the 5 cents is what we got the budget down to with our adjustment to
Without
keep
layoffs.
the
Without
keep
layoffs.
all of the employees' jobs safe. We could safely say that if we reduced it to 5 cents, that the city workers would not. So that's what we did. We came up with an adjustment from 11 cents to 5 cents without having to lay anyone off.
And understand that even though we're working on keeping a budget at 5 cent tax increase, you're still going to get paid.
Yes.
You're still going to get paid. And until the budget is approved, we will do emergency appropriations to pay you. So you don't have to worry about that.
And not only that, there's only 60 more days left
In
in
the
this
budget.
calendar year.
Yeah.
So you need to understand that there's only 60 more days left in the calendar year. Our calendar year starts on July the 1st. So it's only, so DCA understands that and they knows that the council is not in violation. DCA is in violation. They held that budget up trying to force us to vote on 11 cents.
Yeah.
So my question to all of you out in the audience, do you want us to fight for the 5 cents or do you want us to just stamp
Pass the budget.
the budget at 11 cents because we
Yeah.
could do that too?
Yeah.
Let me hear from you.
Yep. Lee Willie Ingram. What's up, Lee? He says,
Hi, Lee.
I put an OPR
Oprah.
request to find out how the raises were paid. He said he was informed there is no records on it.
And that is a problem.
Yes.
That is a
Wow.
problem because once you are not transparent with the public, the residents here in Trenton pays everyone's salary. Let's be clear on that. So when the residents ask for an Oprah request to find out where that money is, who certified the money? Who certified the account that the money came out of? You are entitled to know that.
Yeah.
You're entitled to
That's
that
right.
information as a taxpayer.
That's right. Kyle Turner says he asks again. I guess he just tuned in. Are the city workers, because he worked for the city, I think, getting paid next Thursday?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yep.
Don't believe all those stories out there.
Andre King says, why use emergency appropriations over an extended period of time as opposed to fixing the problem?
Because we have the budget, and the budget is tied up because of the discrepancy between DCA and the council.
And
because
it was also held up because we have to wait to see how much money we're getting in transitional aid.
yes,
and
we had to
wanna
wait,
give us
and
capital.
we had to wait to see if we were getting the utility
Tax. Credits.
Energy tax.
the Comptra.
No,
the
the utility
utility
energy
taxes.
taxes.
But the thing is, as long as you have to do emergency appropriations on every 3 months
Okay.
And so
until
you,
that budget is actually resolved.
right, and you have to go. Remember, we got the budget. The budget was submitted to us on October the 18th. We began to go through the departments, and as we went through the departments, we were waiting for DCA to tell us if they were going to grant us the transitional aid and how much that transitional aid would be.
All Andre King also asks him, if DCA is in violation, why aren't you guys suing them?
Good boy.
Let's hold on to your
Yeah.
Hold on.
Let's hold on to your
Yeah.
head.
But anyway, that's a good thought.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
Yeah, right. He
And
might
duly
have started something.
noted.
He might have started something.
Yeah, go ahead.
He could have sued him. Bishop Sidney Gaines says, "I'm glad to see our council coming together. This is what we need, we the people